Welcome back. I'm Alyse Diamond. I'm reading my memoir, Raised by Narcotics, Growing Up in the Opioid Epidemic. Today I'm reading chapter 2. It's called Self-Help. The last time someone in my family died was 2012. In the years since then, I've really worked on myself. I've done some awesome things. I got a job working with my best friend, something we had both been dreaming about for, forever. I started focusing on my health and what I'm putting into my body. I started running and signing up for races, even longer ones like half marathons. I lost weight, 50 pounds, shed numerous dress sizes, gained all kinds of self-confidence. I had another baby, my second, who is my entire world. I totally rocked motherhood and did everything for that little man to make sure he exceeded his own personal hang-ups and surpassed them like nothing was ever wrong. I taught my daughter what a strong and independent woman looks like and helped her become the independent woman she is now growing into. I saved money for our 10-year wedding anniversary, so my husband and I could go rekindle our love on the island of Hawaii. Life has been good. I've made a lot of good choices. I don't regret most of it. It's what everyone loves about me. This is how everyone sees me. My friends on Facebook, my family, the people I work with, even the people I grew up with. I'm strong and capable, and alongside my husband, we have a life that anyone would be envious of. My life is a fairy tale. But, and you saw this part coming, right? Just like a fairy tale, my life is not what it seems. I mean, it is actually everything I described. I did have all that. But why anyone has what they have is a question no one asks. We all just assume that everyone has more than we do and poor us for not having what they have. Choices. We make them every single day. In my case, I would like to think that I have what I have now because I've worked hard for it. I am who I am because I wanted something very specific for my life, and that meant being a very specific type of person. But what drives people to make these choices? Why are we all so possessed to create this stable life for ourselves, a life that everyone envies? Self-help is so popular right now because we all so badly want to be in charge of our own destiny. There is a huge problem with this, though, because the truth is, we can't be. I wish I could say that everything I've done alone. I really wanted to be that independent woman that so many women pride themselves on being. But they are lying to themselves if they think they are independent. Everything we do will always revolve around another person or an experience with another person. I can never truly be independent unless I purge myself of everything I know, every single possession that I have, including the clothes on my back, and live alone in the wilderness, making, building, and growing everything on my own. You are not independent. You might be alone, but you are not independent. That doesn't have to be good or bad. It is what it is. We all rely on each other, very heavily at times, while at other times we might not even realize it. I credit my husband's job for a lot of things that we have and are able to do. Without that company, their family-friendly environment, and their benefits, we just wouldn't be who we are. It's very much a reflection of how well they've built their company. But you don't want things like that to be true. You want to think that you would be who you are no matter what happened to you, but you wouldn't be. Each and every circumstance of our life shapes you somehow. Every job, every friendship, every meal, every event. You would not be who you are without having experienced everything that has come to you, good or bad, in your life. You will not be the same person when you're done reading this book. Take the old adage, you knew who I was when you married me. This statement is a personal pet peeve of mine. Well, yeah, they knew who you were the day they married you, but you've changed in a lot of little ways. So no, you are not the same person. And if you are the same person, you've done something wrong with your life. You haven't grown. You haven't learned. You haven't experienced anything new. Believe it or not, Your loved ones want to know you. You just have to let them in and start recognizing the ways life has changed you. I want to be a specific type of person, but I don't actually know who that person is yet. Everything in my life has been an accident, followed by a choice I've had to make. An invitation by a friend, a benefit of being part of something bigger than me, a book recommendation, forgetting to cancel my Audible membership, a diagnosis, a canceled event, a surprise night out. The list goes on. Nothing I've done to make me who I am has been deliberate, except for one thing. But defining and explaining that one thing is the difficulty and point of this entire book. What I do know are the mistakes that my family made in the past, and what it ultimately cost them, their lives. I also know that I don't want to make those same mistakes. So I've focused my attention on things that will make me a better human being. When those particular opportunities for growth present themselves, I nosedive for them, actively avoiding the things in my way that might have once tempted my long-lost family members, but not me. I won't be tempted, because I'm better than they were, or so I keep telling myself. That's all it is. Simply knowing that I don't want to be like them. Instead, I've ended up like me. That doesn't make me better or worse. It just gives me a way to be different. Because I don't want to be the same. As a mother, my mantra has been, I don't know what to do, but I know what not to do. This has come from my experiences with my own mother, a person who really had no idea what she was doing in the arena of motherhood. That comparison alone gave me something to lead my family with. I have no idea what I'm doing in this life, but I sure as hell know what I'm not doing. And that is how I've become the person that I am today, to live this fairy tale lifestyle that everyone around me envies. It's not always about knowing what you're doing, but rather knowing what you're not doing. The biggest examples of this in my life is drugs. Drugs are bad, okay? I don't just mean street drugs, although they're certainly included in this. I mean prescription drugs. Because that's what this book is ultimately about, if you didn't already catch the drift from the first paragraph of the book. But how can you possibly say no to prescription drugs? It's impossible. Even I can't avoid them. I would be a hypocrite if I said that I did. I feel like I need to start telling my story now, though, so you can catch up on the meaning of all this. It's not meant to be a mystery or some puzzle to be solved. I really want my words to make an impact, and I've waited too long already. There are kids just like me living this same hell right now, and they could be helped if I could just finish what I started so many years ago. So many families have already gone through this, and so many people are going through it now. I still don't know what I'm doing, what I'm writing, or what will happen when I'm done. I just know that I can't sit by anymore and let it keep happening without saying something. I can't not speak up and tell my own story. No one is laughing anymore because we all know someone going through something similar to what I'm about to share with you. I recognize that you don't know who I am or what I've been through, but I know that you care about someone in your life, and if anything, this could be a turning point for both of you. Okay, honestly, it's kind of embarrassing to read my own book. Like, really read it out loud and hear me. I've never done that before. So I'll talk about self-help. I think the point of this chapter was, at this time in my life when I wrote it, I was married to a very wealthy man. He wasn't the wealthy person. His family was the wealthy people. And we benefited heavily from that. And I felt very judged for my extravagant. It wasn't that extravagant, but we went on vacations. We did awesome stuff. I was very privileged, insanely privileged, okay? I just checked my privilege. I still am privileged, not to that extent. I think it was really hard for me to find meaningful relationships outside of all of that, because that's all anyone ever saw of me, was that extravagant lovely lifestyle. And if I could have that, why was anything wrong? I know I talk about that more throughout the book. Honestly, not sure what the point of this chapter was. I think more editing should have happened. Talking about you might be alone, but you're not independent. We do all rely on people. And I think if we recognize that and used it to benefit us, not a bad way, but like acknowledged what other people do for us in our lives and how they impact our world, you'll have some gratitude and understand that people have something to offer you, whether it's a simple conversation. But my life largely was an accident. I think so many of us aren't really living intentionally, are we? The accidents of my life are I met this guy at a new job that we both started at the same time, and was, because of where I came from and who I was so needy. I needed love so much that the first person to share a nice thought, say a nice comment, give me a compliment, the first person to be kind, I grabbed hold of that. And that person was my ex-husband. And it was such a massive mistake. You're going at life blind. I was talking to my current husband about this the other day, and what I said to him was, I feel like I'm drowning, but I'm expected to learn how to swim while I'm drowning. That's been most of my life. I haven't either had a chance to make thoughtful decisions. I haven't been in the right mindset to make thoughtful decisions. I haven't been around the right people who could encourage me to make thoughtful decisions. There's so much more I could write in that chapter, and there's so much missing, so much context missing. I don't know why I wrote it, honestly. Seems a little silly now. I guess I wonder if I have a life that I can be proud of or not. I'm proud now. I'm proud of the last few years, but I've had a lot of help. I think that's really important to recognize. And I've reached for a lot of help. And I've been more thoughtful. I've been more mindful. I think I'm doing things right this time. But who knows? You never get to know. You don't get to know until you know. Okay. Take what you will from that. Feels like a garbage chapter. I will see you next time for chapter 3. And what is chapter 3 called? Oh, chapter 3 is called Epidemic. Okay, see you next time.